What's up, good people? It's time for another session of that verbal cardio. I didn't fumble the intro this time, Sabrina.
I'm proud of you.
We back in business, man. Yo, so I got my co-host Water, as always. Drink more water, people. Drink more water. You need water in your life.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You need more than 16 ounces. Just don't do one bottle. You need more than 16 ounces, man. Without water, none of us are here. Everything you doing, the car you driving, the house you living in, the hustling you doing, whoever you're dating, would not be here without water. Agua, H2O, the building block. Now, I'm excited about my guest right here. Y'all see, the patron saints, y'all see who's here. We got the one and only DJ Hi-Tek.
Yes, sir.
In the building, Cincinnati's finest. You put Cincinnati on the map for me from a hip hop standpoint.
Word up.
Because you was repping Cincinnati to the fullest. You was like, yo, I'm from the Natty. And I'm like, oh, that's what they call it, the Natty?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because,
Right.
like, before that, you think of Cincinnati, you think of the Bengals and, you know, maybe the Reds and WKRP in Cincinnati if you old enough.
Top. Right.
And but then, like, it's from a hip hop standpoint, it was
Yeah.
just like, you know, for me at that time, Cincinnati wasn't on my radar,
Right.
hip hop wise. And then, you know, you find out later, but you came, oh, you from Cincinnati, because
Yes,
I would
sir.
have just automatically assumed since you
Right.
was working with Talib and Mos
That was from
that
New
you
York.
was from New York.
Right.
And then, the Black Star album is critically hailed as, you know, one of the best hip hop
Man.
albums ever constructed.
Right.
And you produced the bulk of that.
Yes, sir.
If y'all don't know his track record, his discography, if you will, you produced the whole Train of Thought album, right? It's
Yes.
like, man,
Yeah.
that album right there. Let me tell you, one time we went to a house party. We was in Las Cruces, New Mexico. We went to a house party. We didn't like what they was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is right, Train of Thought, it just came out. We went in there, we had the CD on, we made them put on the Train of Thought album, and we turned that party out.
Man, that's love right
Man,
there.
I was like, yo, Vince, put on the
That's
Train
love.
of Thought.
That's
Because
love.
they wasn't playing, they was playing some BS. But man, dog,
Man, it's just,
thank you for coming, man.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
You a
man.
legend.
Dope spot.
Man, dog.
Yeah. Thank you.
We talked about this at the comedy club when you came to see me in Cincinnati, but how did you link up with Ruckus, Talib, Mos? How did that come about?
I met Kweli through a group I was producing for called Mood out of Cincinnati, and they would go back and forth to New York. You know what I mean? One
Yeah.
day they met Kweli. Long story short, they brought Kwa back to Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and at the time, I had a lot of beats, and I was working with them, and I needed, so to say, my partner to work with, and kind of always was a dream to work with somebody from New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And and to be honest, like when I first heard Kweli, it's like, damn, his voice was amazing, and that's how I just got started. It was just a blessing to meet somebody that had the same path as me. It was kind of at the same level.
Yeah.
We just got it together, Yeah, let him take the lead, because at the end of the day, like you said, Cincinnati, you hadn't heard of Cincinnati since I put it on the map. So
Right.
it was like, he helped me do that. You know what I mean? 'Cause, New York is the mecca of hip hop.
Right.
So, he lived in Brooklyn, I mean, that was my chance right there. So it was
Yeah.
like, I didn't really know his work ethic was like that, but, ended up guiding me to make my career what it is today,
So when you linked with Talib, the Black Star album was just gonna be you and Talib initially, right?
Nah, so me and Talib, Talib had a group called, initially it was called Eternal Reflection,
Okay.
and he flipped it around after I joined the group. So to say, I kind of asked him like, yo, man, y'all need some beats,
Yeah.
and da, and I was like, can I join the group? You know what I'm saying? He was like, come on, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so initially it was us, just me and Kweli was trying to make an album. We had a small EP we was working on. This was before Ruckus and all of that. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so we was just trying to do our thing. And, Reflection Eternal is the initial group with me and Kweli. So Black Star was after that.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
came after that,
Yeah.
even though the album came before the Reflection Eternal debut, right? Because
Yeah,
Black Star,
Black Star.
Black Star, okay,
Yep, Black Star came first.
yeah,
So
and
that
then-
was like the training spot.
yeah,
You know, most pulled us in. You know, most came up with the Black Star idea
okay.
and gave us a shot. You know,
Because I heard it most. I think my intro the most was, what's that song he
Cosby
did
Mysteries.
with who?
He was like Bill Cosby's sidekick.
Yeah, he was on
was
the Cosby
acting.
Mysteries.
Yeah.
So it was like, and I
Team
didn't
Summit.
even put two and two together
Yeah,
that he was on that because I heard him on Everybody Move to the
Bush Babies.
Bush
joint.
Babies.
Yeah, Bush Babies.
I was like, yo, this dude,
Yeah,
I like his voice.
right.
And then he was on the Lyricist Lounge.
Yep.
Did he do a song on there?
He did the Lyricist Lounge. There was a song called Body Rock.
Yes.
That was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's produced by my man Sean J. Period. It was crazy. That was like Moses' go-to guy. Him and Sean J. had some crazy things going on back then. The sound was crazy. Yeah.
Let's rewind it though.
Yeah.
How did you get into Baby Tone? Let's take you to Baby Tone. Let's take it to the essence.
Shout out Lil Tone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's take it back. Were you born in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Okay, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. How many siblings you got?
I got 3. Well, 2.
Two. And where
Yeah.
do you fall? Are you the oldest? Youngest?
I'm the middle.
Okay, you the
Yeah,
middle.
I'm the middle guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Middle
look-
child.
My sister's a year younger than me. My brother's he's 6 years older than me.
Are all
Yeah.
of you artistic?
Musically and
Yeah.
ear-wise, we all grew up in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your parents?
Yeah, both my parents love music. And my pops actually had a group. He had a record deal.
Did he?
I mean, I Googled him. That's how I had to find out. Like,
Oh, he didn't tell you? Yeah.
well, it took me a long time. Like, I kind of knew.
Yeah.
I just didn't really notice how deep he was really into it.
Okay.
But he was like a bad dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can sing. My uncle, who really taught me how to listen to music, he was that uncle had all his nephews, would tell us all the stories and tell about all his chicks and, you know what I'm saying, how to do this, how to do that. He was like that cool uncle, but
Okay.
he seen that I took a liking to music, would try to teach me how to play the guitar and all that.
Yeah.
But see, him and my pops was in a group called the Italians.
Okay.
And that group went on to be another group, which a lot of people had sampled from, called 24 Karat Black.
Uh-huh.
And it's a highly sampled record if you look at it. Yeah. But the original name of 24 Karat Black was the Italians, which my pops and my uncle started the group.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know all of that while I was coming up.
Yeah.
Kind of glad I didn't, you know. I don't know.
You feel like you would have looked at Pops differently, finding
In a
that
way,
out?
I just think I don't know. I maybe would have overanalyzed things. I just got a
okay.
chance to live out my dream. You know what I mean?
I get 100% what you mean. Because then you would have felt like,
I feel like that now in a sense. Like, I feel the fact that I know so much about music and how it works that I don't let myself go.
okay.
I over critique myself or I
When did that
try to
start
make
for
it
you?
perfect.
When you start really
start making hits.
over-critiquing? Oh, once the hits started rolling in, then you was
Yeah.
like,
I gotta make
can't.
it better than this. I gotta
Yeah.
do this, you know.
that's what comes with
Yeah.
success is like,
Right.
then you be like, I don't know. But before you was like free. You was just like
free.
creating whatever.
All that Black Star, all of that stuff, Reflection Eternal, I would consider experimental.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an experiment, you know, trying different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
And
think
do
that's
you
what makes it
feel
so
like
raw.
that's your best? When you look back at your entire catalog, is that your favorite? Like the Black Star train of thought?
Yeah,
period?
it's my favorite time.
Okay.
My favorite time, just because it was the part of the the initial journey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think had so much fun like getting to that point, and I think it was a blessing to like run into a record label like Ruckus because Ruckus was on the come up, and we ran into a independent that just was totally about helping the underground come up.
Yeah.
They didn't want no cookie cutter, nothing. They just like, we want the raw hip hop. So
And
that's what-
they put out some great projects out of that
yeah,
record
man,
label.
yep.
Like when they first started.
They ran across a lot of artists, man. They had a lot of people
Yeah.
come through there. Everybody wanted to be down with Ruckus after we did our
Man.
thing. Yeah.
I wanted everything coming out of there. I was like, because being a hip hop head, and hip hop put a lot into like the label name. 'Cause, you know,
Yeah.
rappers be like, "Yo, I'm on this label," especially if it's like, you know, whether it be a black-owned label or like a hip hop label, they gonna shout that out.
Yeah.
Cause you know when you listen to like you know, music from whether it be rock, whether it be pop, they not talking about the label.
Nah.
You know, I'm out here on MCA Records. They ain't singing about
Nah,
MCA
not at
Records
all.
or like Arista. Whitney Houston never mentioned Arista Records
Exactly.
in the song.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saving all my love for you. You don't know what record label she on.
Exactly.
But hip hop be like, yo, this is Duck Down, this is Ruckus, this is No Limit,
Yeah.
Death Row, Bad Boy,
Yeah.
Uptown.
Right.
It's like, you know, so then you got a label like Ruckus. It's like, man, what else y'all putting out?
Yeah.
And me, I was a fiend for I need that music. Next scratching, I need the music.
Yeah, man.
And like, this is a random question too. When you was making those beats,
Yeah.
Black Star, Train of Thought, what was you eating? What was your go-to? You in the studio, you cooking the beats up.
So
What you eating in the
we
studio?
got a spot called La Rosa's in Cincinnati,
Uh-huh.
and that's all I would eat.
La Rosa?
Yeah, La Rosa's a pizza spot.
Oh, okay.
Buddy La Rosa's a local pizza spot. We probably got a few in Kentucky.
Okay.
Maybe in Lexington, maybe.
Yeah.
But yes, that's all I would order. Breadsticks with cheese,
Yeah.
pizza
Breadsticks are so
every
good.
day.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Cincinnati, do they cut the pizza in squares or triangles?
Oh, you know, that's a good question. I think they do both.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta ask.
Because Chicago, you know, we grew up on the squares. The square cut.
Squares, oh, yeah.
We grew up on that. Then when you
Okay.
get the triangle, like New York, she from New York.
Yeah,
the
we do
triangle.
Triangles. Yeah,
Yeah.
New York. I
Mhm.
love New York. Turned me out on the pizza, man. Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
good.
when I got hip to the big slices.
The big
Oh,
slice you
yeah.
get in.
There's
Do
one
you fold?
spot.
Oh, go ahead.
There's one spot that is like, it's like almost 2 feet long. The slice is
Just one
it's
slice.
crazy.
Imagine how big the whole pizza itself is with the slices in
I
it.
know it's huge. Yeah.
Dang. Do you fold?
Nah, I don't really like to fold.
Okay.
Nah, I remember people used to do that in school. I hated that shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't fold either. I take it straight as just doing this. I
exactly.
just
Yeah,
go
I
in,
fold.
piece,
and then the string, and then you be like this in the community.
I'm judging.
Man, did you cook up those beats for those early albums? Were you in Cincinnati making those beats, or were you
Yeah.
in Brooklyn?
Mostly in Cincinnati. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's better to create your music closer to home?
Yeah. It's a lot of yeah. I've been told that like by a lot of people. Nah, I'm gonna say a lot of people. A few key people that I really respect,
Yeah.
like Dr. Dre.
Oh, he said.
Yeah, like so when I was giving Dre beats, like he would fly me out for a few weeks to a month at a time, cook up some aftermath beats, and I have my Cincinnati batch. You know what I'm saying? And we had a conversation a couple of times. I was like, man, Dre, I need to move to L.A. Man, I need you to help me get out here. He was like, man, you make your best shit in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, well, won't you come out there and fuck? He was like, shit, you don't even like being out there.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna just stay at the crib, man, and make these joints. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think? Do you think that that's because you're more comfortable
Yeah,
in your own environment,
I think so. And you try to
less
do
in your head?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
is. You know,
Yeah, that makes
comfortable.
sense.
You just try different things. Like I think it's experimental, trying different just stuff, and you got access to your all your elements. So, people that really dig, like the guys I respect, like Pete Rock and Premier, they know, like you got your whole batch of records, but you might have this snare you heard
Yeah.
a couple of batches ago, a couple weeks ago, but you go into it, but you can't really do that. You can't really go to all your tools and your weapons when you out of town or away from your.
Got it.
You know, it's like a chemistry lab. You ever see somebody with
Right.
the tool set? You got a couple special screws here, a couple tools there that you never know when you're gonna need them. So it's
Right.
kind of like that with having your own studio and being at home, your home studio too.
Right. You got
Yeah.
everything right there.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
know where
different.
everything
Like,
is.
Man, I remember this
You-
hi-hat.
yeah.
Oh shit, those might go with that.
And you know where to go to
You
get.
know where to go to
you
get
know,
it. Yeah,
you
it might
already
be
know the
sitting in the
spots.
corner
Yep.
under the couch somewhere, you know.
Or if you need to run out and grab an album, you know a
Yeah.
record store to hit,
Yeah.
where to go, or
Yeah.
who may have it.
Yeah.
I always wondered this too about producers. I know y'all always be in the record store. You getting vinyl, you digging in the crates as they call it.
Yes, sir.
When you listen to music, like when you get records, do you just get a record? Because I know a lot of times you all get records from groups that you may not have never listened to.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
like the album cover.
Yeah.
Is that how you do your process?
Yeah,
Or you
it's
just-
deep, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's a thing.
So take me through the record
Yeah.
store. You go on the record store.
Yeah.
What do you do?
It depends. Oh, so sometimes like when I first started digging, you know, like I said, learning from guys like Pete Rock and Premier and Diamond D, all these dudes, you know, everybody, you know, even Dre, everybody, Quick, anybody that came before me when I was
Right.
a kid, you know, you go to the record store, and I started off digging in the jazz and the funk.
Okay.
That's really what it started. You know, James Brown was all the soul records, you know, the Honey Drippers, the all the classic break stuff. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's kind of where it started. It used to, when I was a kid, was jazz and soul.
Okay.
Then one of my homies, I used to produce with his name Josh Sun.
Mm-hmm.
He worked with Moo. He was the other producer with Moo.
Okay.
And he started digging into like a lot of that psychedelic rock and 60s rock and like Paul Marriott and orchestra records, just crazy different stuff.
Right.
And I would hear it and I'd be like, damn, that just sound crazy. You know what I mean? The Moog stuff, Moog records. And, you know, so with that being said, I had to learn how to get out of that just digging into soul records.
Soul,
and,
yeah.
You know, so when I go to the record store,
Mm-hmm.
it depends on what I'm on that day.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of my music, what you hear, like with the Train of Thought and Black Star, was me trying to be different than Pete Rock and Premier, along with the influence.
Mm-hmm.
So I was finding I didn't want to use the typical breaks, the funky drummer and all that. I wanted to make my own breaks and make it seem like I had my own breaks. So if you listen to that record, you won't hear no drums that you heard, typical drums that you heard. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So impeach the president, you won't hear that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I was purposely trying not to use that stuff. So I
Gotcha.
go to the record store trying to find something different, you know. And like I said, it depends on what you on that day, how I'm feeling,
Right.
you know, musically, you know. So a lot of times I go straight to something a little different.
Right.
know?
You
Yeah.
go to the
psychedelic rock
psychedelic section
Yeah.
and just look at the albums.
Yeah,
and-
so much music. People like to complain. You know, I think people like to complain about it's too many rappers, too many. There's too much, but it's still nothing compared to what they did back in the day. It's so much music that's been made.
It is, yeah.
But what I liked about back in the day, everybody took pride in their artwork that went
That's-
along with the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I love that. And when you were saying something about, you know, the art and the music, it's like back in the day, you would buy an album, you would learn sampling. You would learn like about the the musicians that play, and it was like unconsciously educating you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even know you're being educated about music.
Right.
So while you listening to a record, you reading the credits and reading who the bass player was or the guitar player was. And I think that's what's wrong with today, like with Apple Music and all
You're
this
not
stuff.
getting
You
the
know,
liner notes.
you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
know? It's
I
not
used to
educated.
love doing that when you get a CD, you get a new album, and then you looking because I was looking the books.
Yeah.
I would just be like, oh, this is the dude that did this. You see the name, you see the government names in
Right.
parentheses
Exactly.
next to the track. You be like, oh, who is
Yeah.
you know? And
Right.
then you see the last name, the full
Yeah.
name. You be like, oh, that must be their real name. So you
Yeah.
digging and all that, and then it contains samples from.
Right.
And we love like
Oh, yeah,
samples.
contain
Oh,
sample for you.
yeah.
Love to see that,
You
right?
be like, oh, let me listen
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's so fun. I love like when it's accidental,
Right.
where like I hear a song that's old, and then I'll be like, yo, that's the
Yep.
That's the sample from Such a Witch. I did it the other day watching this movie called Deep Rising.
Okay.
A little horror movie that didn't even do good at the box office.
Yeah.
Got Treat Williams in there as the star. Movie comes on. I hear the sample from Nas's "You Won't See Me Tonight."
Oh yeah.
It was the first bit of music
See, I
played
don't-
in
I
the
ain't know
movie,
that.
and I'm just
Yeah.
like, yo. And then I hit her up, I'm like, yo, what song is this? Because she likes that song, you know.
Right.
And so I was just like, I love finding that out. Did
Man.
that with
Yeah.
Midnight Express with
Oh, that movie.
that movie.
Hey, I love that movie with the Turkish.
Yes, when he's
Turkish
in that
jail.
prison.
Yeah.
The Outkast sample. Did you notice that?
Nah, that's crazy. And I just watched it about a year ago again.
Yeah.
I pull it up every once in a while. That's one of my movies.
Next time you watch it, when it comes on, it's that. They use it for Return of the Gangster.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's the Outkast. I just be
Gotcha.
mad excited.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
But I know the guy that did the soundtrack. That's the same guy that did the Scarface music, I think, right?
It sounds similar.
Sounds
it got
similar,
that
right?
similar dark tones. And,
Yeah.
and you know, for Scarface, Mobb Deep did
Yeah, right.
The World Is Mine.
I forget the name of
Thug Life Is Mine.
it. Yeah.
Need to give it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got that from the Scarface soundtrack.
Right.
So it was just like, I love finding those out on
Yeah.
accident.
Right.
It'd be like
It's
crazy.
exciting, man. It's you educating yourself about music. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You gotta know.
Yeah, because then
You know,
you're digging.
Yeah, you digging.
What's
Yeah.
what's the one album you picked up just randomly that like surprised you? That's not R&B ish or just like you ever pick up just like a rock album that you're just like, yo, this.
It's so many.
Mm.
It's
Like
so,
what's
it's-
the one that sticks out the most?
The one, oh man, man, I can't really say. I can't. It's so many.
Right.
It's and some of them I don't want to tell on myself
Oh,
because I
you don't
didn't
want
clear
to
'em.
get
Yeah.
the clear. They be like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They start
funny.
digging the song up. We here to
That's
collect.
funny.
We here to
He done
collect.
snitched on himself.
Man.
No,
That's
but
funny.
it's so many. Like that's like part of the psychological behind digging. It's something about the artwork that adds up with the music,
Right.
along with the label and the year, and it's just something that gets inside you. And
Yeah.
you're just like, this gotta have something on it.
Right.
I mean, you got the
Mhm.
white dude with the afros, and you know what I mean. You be like, I know he was funky.
You already know when you see a
No,
white
he was
dude with the
funky.
fro
Yeah.
from back in the day, pick that
absolutely.
record up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be so he gonna have something for that
Oh,
ass.
he got something for
Right.
that ass.
Man,
Yeah.
I love good album covers, man. Like I love, and I'm not even a music producer. I couldn't
Mhm.
imagine if I made music.
Right.
Oh,
It'd just be
yeah.
records all over the crib. And it'd just be like, I like this album cover right here. This. And because I feel like, and like you were saying, like now that everybody's streaming stuff,
Yeah.
they no longer looking deeper into the project itself.
Right.
Only the real music heads are actually getting physical copies
Yeah, you
still,
gotta-
like true fans.
Yeah, and it's missing some stuff too.
Yeah, so it's just like I miss the days of like, you know, and some rappers include like Nas on It Was Written, he included the lyrics in the booklet.
That's
So
super
you can
dope.
go read everything he's saying right then and there. You can still
Yeah.
do that on the Google.
Right.
But sometimes they be fumbling on
They be
the,
fumbling, right?
Yeah, I'm
they
like, that ain't
fumbled
what
on
they
a couple
said.
of my little bars, man.
Speaking of booklet,
Oh.
don't you have 2 CDs?
Oh man, listen, man. Come on, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
told you.
Let's
Now I want you so I got Hi-Tek.
break that down.
I got Hi-Tek, High Technology 2 and 3, and I got the first one too, but I
Word.
don't have it in the case still.
Okay,
But I want you to see how old this is to let you know
it's the real
that
deal.
I've had this for a long time. It's all battered, scraped up, ashy on the inside. Booklet is ashy to
real
let you
deal.
know I ain't just buy this because you was coming in.
Oh man, that's love.
Big fan.
Yeah, you can tell you've been playing that.
Yeah,
one.
man. Look at this, man. Mad rotation.
Yes, sir.
Ashy on the other side, some scratches. Lived
That's
in.
dope, man. I appreciate that, man.
Man, because I'm telling you, man. And then with you got so many artists on your Hi-Tek albums. What's up with Dion? What's Dion up to?
Man, he's dealing with some things in his life. I don't really
Yeah.
speak to him a lot. He'll reach out
Mm.
every once in a while talking crazy,
Yeah.
but I know he's dealing with some things, so I really don't pay attention to it. you know,
Right.
but
His voice,
I think he
though.
live out here. He out in L.A. somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know, some people let this industry get to them, man. They can't deal with it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's a lot.
I can't let that stop. I can't let that stop me. You
Right.
know what I mean? But
Right.
I guess he good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Some
'Cause
people
I
you
asked
can't-
about him because
yeah.
you know the song "Keep It Moving" is always in my head, and the way he sang is
Man,
kind of his voice is kind of haunting a little bit,
Yeah.
like the sound of it. And I'm
Right.
like, man, I like that. You know, what I'm saying?
Talented dude, man.
Yeah.
Talented, great talent. Like when I first heard him, like I'm not really like I was working on Jonelle, which is
Man,
song Around
we
and
go.
Round, right?
Yep.
I was working on that at the time when I met Dion, but I was like at the end of her project. It's before Def Jam let her go or whatever, and I met Dion. I'm the type of producer I kind of like go all the way in. Like I didn't even want to hear a male singing voice at the time when I was working on our solo project. So, but when I heard him,
Yeah.
I was like, man, this dude is the truth.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause in my mind, I was thinking like at the time, I was thinking like, you know, a lot of male R&B was just kind of whiny, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to go into that chamber, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was trying to more, you know, hip hop R&B. Not
Okay.
I was expecting like Boys to Men R&B from him and then some of the songs, but once I heard his tone, I was like, you know, I'm big into tone. I got a good ear for like, you know what I'm saying? Just that tone, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what I heard out of him. I was like, man, his tone is Marvin Gaye-ish, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, it was flawless. And as we worked, he just allowed me to use him as an instrument in a sense, you know what I mean? I was showing him things that he never done before to keep him outside of that typical R&B stuff. So a lot of stuff, and majority stuff, I actually wrote. You know what I mean? So it was kind of me singing through him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was just the instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever sing those parts to yourself or around anybody?
Oh, for sure. It's a lot of joints that I be singing on.
Oh,
People
for
don't
real?
even know it. Yeah.
Man,
Not
you gotta
necessarily
fill me in,
singing, but
Yeah.
it be there.
You be in the
Hey,
background.
I don't
we can
credit
still-
myself for that shit, though.
Yeah, you sneaky bastard. You sneaky bastard.
Yeah, I be sneaking it in.
Man.
Yeah.
You work with Corrupt a lot too.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's family, man.
Yeah, that dude. I wish he had did a full project with you as a producer because I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan
That's one
of
of my favorite right there. Corrupt. My goodness.
Corrupt, man. You get Corrupt a dope beat. Lyrically, he gonna deliver.
One of my favorite all day.
He stood out so much on the Doggy Style album. I was just like, but like I would love to have heard an album with just one producer. Namely, man, if you and Corrupt would have did like a full.
Yeah, we were supposed to do something too, man. It just you know, that never really panned out, but we was on the phone a few times talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me, him, and Terrence supposed, you know, me, him, and Terrence was gonna put something together on that. That was crazy. That would have been crazy. We'd have, you know.
Do you like working with one MC for a full album, or do you prefer outside of making your own albums? Do you prefer, like, you know, doing like what you did with Train of Thought, or do you prefer like doing tracks here and there for different projects?
I prefer working with us. A little bit of both, but majority I would like to have that artist I can craft something with. You know what I mean? Because it allowed me to experiment.
Yeah.
It allows me to like speak through the beats.
Right.
And I feel like that's why I'm sitting here right now, because I'm able to speak through the music. I'm not just your average producer. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that make beats or produce, you can't put a face with the music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was, without rapping, like, you know, as much, I was able to put a face to my music.
Right.
But that I was able to do that through people like Quali and Black Star and, you know, and Snoop and, you know, people shouting my name out on beats, you know. But you only get the shout out if you special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody don't get the shout out.
A lot of rappers don't even mention the producer. Like, who? You got to do your own research. Like, who did this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm real grateful to that. And that I would prefer to, like, work with an artist that allowed me to experiment. So
Yeah.
finding that artist, that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
You gotta have the synergy. You gotta
Yeah.
be able to vibe.
Cause I really be like stern on like how they rap on my beat.
Okay.
So if some guys can't get that pocket, I'll get turned off.
Okay.
I don't care how.
You be letting them know, like, then this ain't it.
They got like I said, even with like cats like Dion, like I had to. He allowed me to train him into that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't reject me, and then he also brought what he had already to the table.
Yeah.
But when it came time for me to do me through him,
Yeah.
he allowed me to do that. Same with Kweli.
Okay.
I call him like Qual's one of them dudes. You know, I call it he don't what I call it beat discriminate.
Okay.
He don't discriminate on none of the beats. It's whatever.
Right.
Whatever you say, Tech, I'm with it.
Okay, so he's easy to work with.
Yeah, in a sense, we have our clashes,
Mm-hmm.
but when we was working together a lot, he would allow me to just do. I wouldn't say even allow me, but whatever I bring to him, it wasn't like no rejection as far as music goes. But internally with producers, we're sensitive to our music. You know what I mean? So if you got somebody that's constantly like, it's like, you know, it's a turn off.
Yeah.
Because we know what we're trying to come with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if they allow you to do that, so it helps inspire us to be like, oh shit, now I can add this and I add that.
Right.
And what you hear on the final product is what a lot of times is what the artist allowed us to do.
Okay.
So it makes us sound like a better producer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I feel, you know, because a lot of artists some people want beats that's already crafted and done. They don't give you no feedback. They don't make you feel inspired. They just want it already. They just like, you Superman, just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do it, man. And
Yeah.
You know
got
what
it.
you do. Do
Yeah.
the thing that you do, and then send it to me.
You need some feedback, you know?
Right.
So it's part of the inspiration of a producer is what you get from the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So working with like a single artist is preferable. You know, I like.
Yeah.
I prefer that. But
Because I feel like they make better albums when it's just one producer. I feel like those albums come out more cohesive.
right.
Occasionally, lightning strikes where it's just like, you know, you'll get an Illmatic. But even that album, it wasn't that many producers. It wasn't that many. You had Premier.
And they were all in the same,
you
circle.
could tell it was like they were. You could tell they were working together on that album.
Right.
You know, Pete Rock, LES,
Yeah.
Large Professor, and it was just like you can tell that they gelled.
Right.
And it was because it felt like, this album got one producer.
It
At the
felt like-
same time, it sounded signature to each producer.
It did.
Like
Yep.
you felt Pete Rock in this song. You felt Premier on this track. And then for you, I wanted to ask too, with that mindset of like, you know, working with cats on your albums, you got some established names coming in.
Yeah.
Were they easy to work with in terms of like, you know, because you got the vision. This is your album, so you already got the vision.
Yeah.
So then you bring in like a Ghostface or like, you know, all these heavy hitters that you got, were they like, you know, were they following the lead or did they come in and just be like, this
Nah.
is what I laid out?
You know what, man? Like, what people hear, a lot of times it comes from, they don't realize it comes from all over the place. Like, if a lot of the tracks be like sitting in the crate or sitting somewhere, and I might come back to it and try to help craft a full album. With that high technology too, in particular, I was working with my manager at the time, Johnny Shipes.
Okay.
He helped me put that album together, though. So shout out to him for that, man. I never really gave him a lot of credit for that, but appreciated him helping me put that together, because he helped me. Like, I had all these ideas and beats, but he helped reach out to a lot of the artists and help me hear who could be on it.
Yeah.
Along with my, vision as well. We just put our heads together and made it happen. But a lot of the tracks, like for instance, like Music for Life, that track, I had that. Me and Marsha, I think we did that like maybe 4 years before you heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
We did that back I think that Technology 2 was released in 06. I think we did that in like '02.
Oh wow.
Yeah, at least.
Dang.
Yeah. She did the hook. I was sitting on it. Nas had it for a while. And that's where you get that Nas verse from. So I had the Nas verse. Nas was going to use it for his album. Never used it. I reached out to him and was like, yo, can I use it for my project? And he gave it to me. And then I reached out to Common and, put myself on it. You know what I mean? I was just like, man, this is a record.
Yeah.
And I had to like with Dilla, that drop you hear from Dilla, that was from the original High Technology 2 I had started working on in '02.
Okay.
And, actually that idea, when I had the Music for Life hook, it was gonna be an instrumental. And I was just gonna have people doing drops.
Just talking. Yeah.
Just talking
for
about
Dilla?
Well,
Or
no,
just
just
music?
in general for Music for Life,
Right.
just expressing what music meant to them. So that's where you hear Busta talking on the end.
Yeah.
And I had like a lot of other people that I didn't get to use on the record, but the Dilla drop and the Busta drop is like from that original idea.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like when you hear this project, it's a cumulative of older tracks, new ideas, and somebody kind of helping me see that vision.
Yeah.
Like I said, my dude helped me put it together at the time.
Johnny Shipes.
Johnny Shipes, yeah.
Shout out to Johnny Shipes.
Yeah, he helped me put that part 2 together. That shit was crazy. But some of the ideas he did come up with, I was like, man, that do work. That sounded right. You know what I'm saying? And then, now as far as like the caliber of artists I was able to get on that project, that was just, a blessing. Like, as far as people respecting my music sound and, along with the connections, you know what I'm saying? And people just with it. You know what I mean? And then I look up, I'm like, damn, I got 9 Interscope artists on this project.
Yo, let me tell y'all who he had.
And
on
I
some
was
of these
able to
albums.
clear them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people get artists on their record and can't clear them. Or no, they get artists, they'll pay them, but they can't clear them.
Oh.
So that's like the big heartbreak.
So
I
when
just paid this dude 10, 20 stacks for a verse, and I can't
And
even
they don't
put
have
it.
to give it back.
And can't, it's spent.
Dang,
They spent
dog.
that at the strip club, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Cash.
And this is who we had on the second High Technology.
Yeah.
He had Q-Tip, Corrupt, Lil Tone.
Lil Tone in the building.
Lil Tone was up
You
in
already
there,
know.
man. Talib, the Willie Cottrell Band. Is that family?
That's Pops. Yeah, that's Pops.
Oh,
yeah.
So you had Pops on the record.
Yeah, Pops on the record with Ghostface.
Oh, man, dog.
Ain't that crazy?
Classic. Pretty Ugly.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes is on here. Raekwon, Papoose, Jada, The Game. Talib was all over this album. Devin the Dude, J Dilla, Nas, Common, Busta, Marsha.
That's crazy.
All stars.
Unheard of from a producer of my level.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Even some producers bigger than me. I mean, that you may think big, but can't get them type of collaborations.
That's crazy, bro. What's the song that fans talk about the most to you? Like, what's the song that comes up the most as people's favorite from you?
Oh, The Blast.
The Blast?
Yeah.
The Blast.
The
course.
Blast. Yeah, for
Wait.
sure.
The Blast.
So
still
I
get-
heard
Uh-huh.
that you were supposed to have a remix with Erica.
It was released.
It was released?
Yeah. It was.
I need to hear
I
this.
think it was officially released, but it's on a vinyl for sure.
Oh.
It's out. Yeah, that came out. Yeah.
Oh.
That was crazy,
We
man.
need to
That
hunt
was
down this
a
vinyl.
really big accomplishment at the time when
Yeah.
we did that. That was like huge. I couldn't believe Erica was on the record, and
Erykah Badu.
yeah, I honestly, I didn't think I should have touched the beat like that. I should have left it a little original and just let it remix itself in a
Yeah.
sense. But I went in on the beat, changed the beat up a little bit.
Yeah. I was telling you this at the comedy club, man. Like, I used to watch the Blast video on repeat. I worked in the Department of Black Programs in New Mexico
Oh
State.
yeah, you did say.
And they had a little computer lab in there. I'm in there watching videos like crazy. And so I'm in the back. I just got the Blast running on repeat.
Oh, word?
Because the video was perfect because of the rain
Yeah.
and just the whole vibe of the video. I was
Man.
just like, this. And then it was just like, and then you rapped on there. I was like, yo, Hi-Tek be rapping? I was like, oh, he be
Yeah.
rapping? And then, so it was just like, that was my cut. And you was
Oh,
telling
man.
me at the comedy club that you got sick because y'all was in the rain.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Your mom's in the video.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, this is my video. Once I finally craft my top 100 hip hop songs of all time, singles, just so I can narrow everything
That's
down.
dope.
The Blast is definitely on
Yeah,
there.
happy shout out happy 21st anniversary to that album.
Man,
Oh, it
21
just
years?
passed on the 17th.
Dang.
Yeah, 17th of October, should I say. Yeah, it's 21 years.
Yo, that's a
Yeah.
classic, bro. And I'm not just saying that
Thank
because
you,
you're
bro.
sitting here.
Appreciate it.
You can scroll down in my Instagram and find the post. I was like, yo, this album right here, classic.
Thank you, bro.
Top
Appreciate
to
it.
bottom. And it's a long album, but it's fire.
Yeah, man. So I was talking to, who was I talking to the other day? DJ Khalil. He was telling me, he was just saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of songs.
It's a lot of songs, but ain't no skips.
Ain't no skips.
You know how hard it
Yeah,
is to
no
craft
skip.
an album.
Yeah, man.
Damn near 20 songs. It might be 20.
It's like, yeah, it's 21, I think. I don't know.
No skips.
It's 20, 21, yeah.
That's
You
amazing.
got a hidden track on there.
Oh, you got the seed. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, man. You
It's
got
like
the
a
hidden
hidden
track.
You got the
Matter of
hidden track.
fact, I think you got if I do my top 100 hip hop songs list, you got 2 songs on my top 100 just off the top of my head. You got
Okay.
Respiration on there too.
Oh, word. Yeah, man.
Respiration, y'all. It's on the Black Star album. It's Most, Talib, and Common. That's one of the best songs I've ever heard. And anytime I bring it up, anytime I post about it, people be like, yeah, Respiration. The video is perfect. The song is perfect. It's just, And I remember fully taking that song in. I was on the Greyhound bus to Chicago from New Mexico. And I had that song on repeat. And I was just like, this right here. So what you create, man, it's something about music. Like doing comedy, we be making people laugh, you know what I'm saying? That's dope. But music is a whole nother connection to people that you can't describe. Like everybody in this room right now, they have music that can immediately take them to a mood, a memory,
right.
a feeling. Just as soon as they hear it, man,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a time machine.
Yeah,
You
It's
remember where you were when
the time machine for
Yeah.
sure.
everything.
Yeah.
And
kind of
it's just
remember
like,
where you was at the
man,
time when
in
you
the
first heard it.
moment, you be
Yeah.
like, man, I remember, and that's what me and you in the realm of music to where, when I meet you and like people I'm fans of, it's just like you're a part of my life, even though we
That's
never
dope.
met in person till
Yeah.
recently, but you've been in my life for mad long. And it's
Right.
just like, that's something dope that musicians have that I'm sure y'all don't take that for granted, but
Nah,
Man, we
we
be
do
out
that.
here.
We do. I'm like that in the same. When I meet some of my heroes, like
Yeah.
P Rock, when I got to meet him,
mhm.
and just how much I learned from him. That he, probably didn't know, but I'm pretty sure, he learned from somebody as well.
Right.
I know he's a big James Brown.
Yeah.
And he'll tell
You
you
can
everything. I mean,
You
he
can
is,
tell in his production.
he's James Brown part 2. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's his dude right there.
Mhm.
And I'm like that, with Pete or Premier and people like that. The guys I listen to coming up. And
Yeah.
when you meet them, it's like you know 'em.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the music speaks.
Yeah.
You're speaking through that music, and it's a language.
You got so many memories attached to these artists that it's just
Yeah.
like, of course. Like, oh man,
Right.
Pete Rock.
Same with Dre. When I first met Dre, it just felt
Yeah.
like I knew him. What I
Right.
mean? When I wasn't really. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, damn, this is Dr. Dre, and you
Yeah.
start thinking all the history because actually, like Dre was the first album I ever bought. Like with
The Chronic.
the Wrecking Crew record.
Oh,
Surgery.
you bought that?
Yeah, when I was like
wow.
7 years old. So
Really?
my mom took us to the record store and shit.
Yeah.
And she was like, me, my brother, and my sister, she was like, y'all pick out a record, whatever one y'all want. And that's the one I picked.
The world class wrecking crew.
Yeah,
What made you
Surgery.
get that album?
Because one of my friends, his uncle, my friend's uncle was a DJ.
Uh-huh.
And he used to play it all the time. I was like, I got to get that. That's it. That's it. Calling Dr. Dre the Surgery.
Yeah.
My brother bought the Renegades of Funk,
Mhm.
and my sister
Yo.
bought the Fat Boys record.
The Fat Boy Crushing?
Yeah.
Was it Crushing?
Oh, what's one when they in the jail suits?
Oh, I forget the name of that
Fat
album.
Boys, nah. it was called the Fat Boys.
I forget the name of that
Yeah,
one.
that's the one she bought.
Yeah.
So I never forget. Like, I don't listen to Dre since them days. You know what I mean?
Because not a lot of people can say they got the world class wrecking crew
No,
first.
I got that. Yeah, you
A lot of
got
people be like NWA, the Chronic. You was like, nah, man.
Nah, I go back to
The wrecking crew. They had the costumes on.
yeah.
On
And
the-
it was
on
like
the-
a drawing, him on the turntable and all that.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's dope, man.
The doctor suit. Yeah, it was crazy.
The full shebang. What's your favorite movie?
Wow.
I'm all over the place out here.
Wow,
Hard hitting
favorite.
questions up in here.
Yes.
My favorite movie, man.
hmm
Damn, I don't really have a favorite movie, but
Ooh.
And what's your wife's favorite movie that you ain't really rocking with, but she be watching it all the time?
Oh man.
I wouldn't even consider her a movie buff for real. Like, I be
That's
trying to get her to sit and watch a movie. She won't watch a movie.
Nah,
man.
what she be watching?
She guys, the murder show. I be thinking she trying to plot on me. Or
She be
something.
watching Forensic
Yeah,
Files.
the forensic files. That's her shit.
Oh, why
you
do
be,
we do
you
that?
be fearing for your safety. You be
Yeah,
like,
I
man,
gotta
why you
wa- I gotta-
watching
gotta
ID
watch.
channel.
Snap?
Oh, the ID channel. Yeah. Why do we do that as
Keep
women?
watching them damn forensic shows. Man. I'm
I got a
starting to
new one
wonder,
now.
like,
I don't know
Oh.
why women watch those shows and then they be shook. They be out here shook. Like Sabrina be shook out
Oh,
here.
I'd be
She be
shook.
like, hey man, I need the cameras. I heard a noise. She be texting me. And
oh
then,
yeah, exactly.
But
They make
you
them
would think they
I
would
mean,
avoid
I've been
through
you know,
some
stuff
stuff,
that's going.
right?
But man,
I've been through
You
some
keep
things.
watching the
man.
show to make them paranoid.
man. And then they be
We-
all in too. Cause
Yeah.
I be
We
all
watch
in the
the
forensic
shows.
files.
We watch the shows to know what to look for
Yeah, okay.
Right.
and how to protect ourselves and how to get away with
No,
stuff.
that's the part that's
Uh-oh.
scary.
No, I'm
though.
kidding, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
The how to get away.
What's my new show now with the doctor?
I forget her name.
She's
She a real doc?
autopsy doctor.
Oh,
Oh.
the
She goes
autopsy.
and find out what happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
So I got moved on.
She's she done upgraded to the autopsy.
Autopsies. That's
Nah,
interesting,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, that's the.
That's super interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
The
I feel that.
autopsy.
You gotta stomach that stuff, man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you come home and they be
Yeah,
like,
on repeat.
so the victim was found. You be like,
But
you
Tony,
walking into the-
let me tell y'all, Tony loves forensic
Oh,
files.
man.
It's dope.
Every
Yo.
hotel I go to,
Every
I turn to that channel because it be on back to back to back to
Yeah,
back.
back to everything.
They only do
streaming out.
news like in the early part of the
Yeah.
day. Then once they hit the five,
That's the one
Yep.
she be watching.
forensic files.
Yeah.
forensic files all
And I'll
day.
be all in.
The hotel, even when we leave the TV on to just forensic files. So
Yeah.
when we walk back into the hotel, it's like
Yeah.
she was found in the bathroom.
And
Oh.
I immediately be all in.
Yeah,
I'm like,
immediately.
oh,
He's barely, he
what?
still got all his stuff on, and
Yeah.
he's getting undressed. Like, oh.
Yep. I don't know
That's
what's
funny.
going on. I don't know what happened, but I'm like, I know the boyfriend did it.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I know he did it, man.
hey, you be so surprised when you found out he did. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Damn.
so they was poisoning them the whole time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So
But I can't say that. Like Castaway is one of the movies that when I'm like skipping
Oh.
through channels,
yeah, you watch it.
I gotta just stop and
That's
watch
your-
I
it.
feel
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Or
we
like
all
a-
got a movie like that.
Oh,
We
yeah.
anytime it's on, we be
Whatever.
like,
Yeah.
Yep.
that's Goodfellas for me.
Goodfellas, Casino.
sense.
Oh,
You know.
Casino too.
Yeah, I'm not like that with Scarface no more because I think I just played it out. It ain't
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Scarface was a screw up, man.
Yeah, he was on some bullshit.
That Scarface, Tony Montana pisses me
he
off
killed his boy
because
best friend,
he
man.
killed
That
his
was-
best friend
that
over
was
some
crazy.
bullshit.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
And that never sat right with me.
Yeah.
Even the first time I saw it, I was like, yo, this dude wild. And then when he killed Manolo, I was just like, over this?
Yeah. that
Over
was
him
crazy.
dating your sister. He obviously loved her because he married her. I'm like,
Right. Exactly.
we family now.
He told him though. He was
He
a man
did
of his
tell him.
word.
But come on, man.
Yeah.
He saved his life.
He sure did.
Manolo saved his ass when he was about to get chainsawed up.
Yeah, he saved his life. He
That's
shoulda
got
let-
to
Yeah,
supersede.
he should have gave him pass.
Don't date my sister. If you
Right.
save
Right.
my life, you can make a porno with
He
my
did
sister.
save his life. That's right. Yeah, he saved him. Yeah,
You saved my life. I was about to get cut up in the bathtub.
that's right. With a chainsaw.
You can smash my mom's while I'm in the room. For that? Please, as long as my mom is in on it, hey, who am I?
Right.
Exactly.
Consent.
You saved my life. Long as there's consent. Do you, bro? I owe you. But Tony didn't respect that.
Nah, he
so I'm
didn't.
like, man, forget Tony, man.
Yeah.
Loose cannon.
It's crazy though. If you watch what is it, Black Caesar? It seemed like they got a lot of ideas from
You know
Black
they did.
Caesar.
You know they did.
Because he did the same thing. His best friend, messed with his ex-wife, I guess,
Yeah.
at the time.
Yep.
And he didn't kill him, but he whooped on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of the same. Couple of little
know they
ideas.
did, man.
Yeah, they
Those
ripped
black
off.
exploitation films, they feel like, all right, if we're gonna make a major motion picture for the whites,
Yeah.
they probably look at it as they probably haven't even seen these black exploitation
Yeah, they
films,
was
so we
ripping
can
them.
just
Taking them
we
little
can sample
ideas.
these records,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
boom,
Sample these records.
and then they put it all together, and then Scarface gets all the glory because you got Brian De Palma, you get Al
Yeah.
Pacino, and then
That's Quentin Tarantino's whole life.
Quentin Tarantino is Remix McGee.
Yeah, all he does is take
Remix. Yeah.
other movies. Like Kill Bill is like 3 or 4 other movies
Yeah.
in one.
Yep.
And he doesn't even change like the characters or anything. It's
Yep.
like
Mm-hmm.
he just literally takes bits and pieces from other movies. Like Reservoir Dogs is a whole
Yep.
movie already.
Mhm.
But he's just like, yeah, let me take that.
Yep. And then he gets all the
All the credit.
glory.
All the glory.
Yeah.
Yep. He'd be like, because he worked in the video store,
It's
Right.
so he was already
perfect.
digging in the crates
Yeah, already.
at the video store. He's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, this. So even when he came out, he wrote True Romance.
Yeah, I used to like that movie.
True
That was
Romance.
good. Yeah,
That
I-
movie,
I used to
fire.
have that
That's
on
a good
VCR tape. I
Yeah,
used to have that on repeat.
that was
Yeah,
a good
dope.
movie.
Yeah.
I avoided it initially. I was like,
I know
romance.
initially, yep.
I was just like the title. I was just like, romance. I'll be like, nah, man, look out. But then when I watched it, I was like, yo, this movie good.
There's a lot of dope like movies that I'll stop and watch if it was
Mhm.
on like Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo's
was
good.
Yeah, that was my movie. I like that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
screwing up, man. It was one thing
It's
after
a goofy
the
movie, man.
man.
It's crazy at the beginning of that movie. They tell you it was based on a true story, but come to find out it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
They was playing with us.
Oh, it's
He's like, man, don't
bullshit."
do this. What's your favorite? What's your go-to meal right now? What's your favorite meal at the crib?
At the crib.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
But you be like,
oh, this is putting you on blast.
What's my favorite meal? babe?
favorite meal at the crib?
Turkey leg.
Oh, turkey leg. That's
Oh,
his.
yeah.
That's his.
That's
Turkey
it.
leg.
That's you all day.
Turkey leg. The way she make them though.
Yeah.
She got it with the cream of celery,
Ooh.
smoked for like 2 days.
She said, chill, not the recipe, not the secret. The
Oh yeah, I
secret
can't.
recipe.
I'm giving up her
Yo,
recipe. She said,
man. She like chill,
chill,
chill.
chill
Yo.
off the
Josh Coos.
So they falling off the
It's called-
bone then.
Yeah, falling off the bone
hmm
with the cream of celery.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you be
Yeah.
excited on that.
Yeah, I'm
You be like,
starting to
"This
get
what we
hungry right
doing?"
now. Yeah, that's
Y'all got me over here.
You like,
cracking
yo, when
up.
we get back, when we get
Funny.
back home.
Yeah, she hit it on there because I actually was really thinking. I was like, I forgot, but she know what. I like the turkey legs.
Yeah.
Sound like a request.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, we just
Turkey
talking.
legs.
We just shooting the breeze.
The eye contact.
We planting the seed is what we doing. So I know you mentioned you had 4 sons, right? You got 5?
I got 5. Yeah,
5
I got
sons.
5 boys.
Are they any of them still at the house?
Yeah, 3.
3 still at the crib.
Yeah.
What's the ages of your sons? What's the breakdown?
24,
Mm-hmm.
19,
Mm-hmm.
16, 15, and 5.
Oh wow, we got the gap right there.
Yeah.
15 and 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, he was supposed to be a girl.
Okay.
So I did everything they told me to do on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, you was doing all of
And it didn't work.
trying to get the girl going.
Yeah.
A baby girl, that was the
So
plan.
That baby girl was the plan.
And
man.
then at the ultrasound, they was like penis. You was like, ah.
Hey, you know what's crazy? When we seen the ultrasound, right?
Mhm.
That's the craziest part. Like we both was like, the lady got mad at us because I guess we was just felt so entitled and so spoiled because we got a big family, you know.
Uh-huh.
But we were a little upset because we were so set on trying to have this girl. You
Okay.
know? But she was like, she kind of put us in check really quick.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's people out here that can't have kids, and
Perspective.
you know what
She
I'm
hit you
saying.
with the perspective.
Oh, she was a little heated at
Yeah.
us because we were like,
So y'all
"Ain't no
visibly was
girl."
like,
a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah,
Let me see it again. Let me see it again. You sure?
yeah.
a
I
little
think
bit.
This is my job. Of course, I'm sure. I know
Right.
Exactly what
Damn.
So
Yeah.
the little man supposed to been a girl, but
Yeah.
you know, now that I think about it, I'm glad he was a boy because he fit right in. Boom,
Right.
and this, girls are a mess.
Oh,
Girls are a mess.
I mean,
man. Girls are tough.
yeah. That's what I hear.
They tough.
That's what I hear, man.
I see a lot of my brother got he got 3 girls.
Mhm.
You know, and
He
you
be
see
stressed?
Nah, he good.
He
He
good?
actually did pretty good, but
Yeah.
I see a lot of brothers and just with girls in general, like you know what I
Mhm.
mean. Like girls is like, man, they tough to deal with.
Yeah.
Real emotional,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, lot of baggage. A lot
Him
of
out
things
the
you don't
womb?
know about. And if you used to boys, you know, I couldn't
Especially
imagine
with they
myself
4
jumping into
boys
a
and
little
then the
girl
girl.
like that.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
She was gonna be
Yeah.
spoiled rotten though.
Right.
You know,
You
gonna
already
be
know.
like, because like I wanted a girl at one point. And I was just like, if I was to ever have another, kid, I was like, girl, because I
Yeah.
feel like I'd be a good girl dad.
Yeah. I got half of it, like with my stepdaughter. You know, my wife had a daughter prior to
Okay,
our
yeah.
relationship, but so I got to raise her
Yeah.
from 11 to where she is now. How old is
Yeah.
she now? 20?
22.
22.
22. Okay, she right behind the oldest boy. Then.
Yeah,
in that,
so I got to raise her a little bit. And, oh my God, I could imagine from the beginning a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can see with girls, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Now raising a girl. I'm asking you, does it get? Because I feel like with the boys. Because I can only go from my own perspective on raising kids, so I had the boys.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it got easier raising boys once they hit like 5 and up, just because it's just easier to manage them. They're more independent. They're more, they're becoming themselves.
Yeah, you kind of let them do what they want
you
to
could
do.
you could have conversations. You still in the trenches, but it was just like if it was easier. Like babies and toddlers and that little period. Oh,
No way.
they still throwing tantrums. Then they doing this. They
so-
putting their life at risk.
Yeah, she always say that. Like, I can't wait till he's 5, 6 years old so he can
Yeah.
hold his own.
That's
See?
prime real estate time. 'Cause
Right.
then, put your seatbelt on. They can,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes. It's true.
yeah.
Actually changed the next day.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the period you waiting on.
Right.
And like, with daughters, like, they always say, oh, the girls are emotional, this, that, and the third. Like, when does that kick in? Where, parents feel the emotions of a daughter.
Mm.
I always wondered that because, we're gonna go through the bullshit phase, the 0 through 5. So then, what's it like raising a girl
Never ends.
Exactly.
6 and you say it never ends?
Never ends. Never ends. Not with the girls. It never
Yeah.
end, I don't think. It's just they always, especially, daddy's girl.
Yeah.
I see that,
Mm-hmm.
daddy's girls. They always gonna be baby girl, you know what I mean?
And that's what I appreciate. Like, I used to always, I always clown my sons about how they turn their backs on the parents when they get to a certain age. When they good, when boys are good, they good. They be like, nah, I'm good. You don't hear from them. You gotta call them. You
exactly.
gotta text them.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, man, you ain't checking in.
Yeah,
Like,
nah, I'm good. And so if they good, you don't hear from them. So it's like, all right. But with girls,
right.
whether good or bad, you gonna hear from them.
You like, hello, how much you need?
Yeah,
Like,
like, yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Good or bad, you gonna hear from your girl. Like, especially like, especially daughters and fathers. It's just like, my dad.
Right.
Mom's here, my dad.
Yeah.
And so even when it was a rocky relationship with the pops, it's still
Yeah.
my dad, And so I just be like, man, daughters and dads, there's no
Yeah.
back turn.
No back turn.
And so I used to
Yeah.
be like, because I know my boys are going to come back,
Yeah.
once they good, and then they always come back home, like, once they weed through the friends and the relationships,
Yeah.
and then they come back to the parents.
Mhm.
If you were a good parent,
Right.
Right.
they always come
Right.
back. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
man, the grandkids and this,
Right.
that, and the third. So
It's just hard trusting that they're doing manly things.
exactly, you good, like
Yeah.
I'll be worried about like the biggest thing I would worry about with my sons, especially my youngest, Sincere. It's like, are you gonna keep your house clean? you gonna do the dishes or you gonna do the? Because I be wondering like without being told to, even though he's 20 now,
Yeah,
I still be like,
man.
But he's gonna own like 2 dishes, 2 sets of like.
Well, he's very
everything.
minimal.
Yeah, he's so minimal that he'll be like, what's the point? I'm gonna just reuse
yeah.
it.
But I just be worried about him because I be like, are you gonna take the trash out without having it
I was thinking
piled to the?
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so
you
it just be
wondering-
those little things of like,
you be wondering if you kind of actually instilled that part of.
Yeah.
You think you would think them being around you
mm,
and you being on them about doing certain things that they would take that with them. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But then you, like you said, when they get older, you see it like start to question like, are they gonna do this on their own for real?
Right.
You know, are you gonna be responsible to even check the mailbox?
just the
Make-
basic things like you
Yeah,
gonna
the
pay the
basic
bills
things.
on time, you
Right.
take the trash out without being provoked or
with-
poked to
exactly.
do it, and like that's
So
the stuff.
That's what the thing I've been kind of up against. I feel like like having not raising, but still being there for adult kids, like
Mhm.
because I think we think that we expect them to know because
Right.
we raised them, blah blah blah. But it's
Mhm.
like it's almost like it's another chamber, like that middle from 5 to 17,
Yep.
but then like 18, and it's like you still gotta still teach them about credit, and you
Yes.
gotta teach them how to be responsible
Mhm.
and why you should care.
Right. Paying the bills on time,
Yeah.
knowing that I might not be here to cover this,
Exactly.
and this, that, and the third, teaching them that independence,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be trying to do that with sincere. I'll be like, hey man, like his college tuition, for example, he'll hit us up last minute about the tuition bill,
Oh, wow.
and I'll just be like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like
sir.
we have it, we all right, but still, why it always come down to the this is due today, and I'll be
I
like,
know that's
Right.
what is
that's not
Yeah,
responsible.
we know
yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
just be like, you got to be on top
Yeah.
of the bill, the due date, when it's due, how
Yeah.
much, So I'll be trying to leave that to him,
Yes,
like
sir.
on the account, because they be sending me emails from the school, and I'll be like, I ain't looking at the email.
I-
You supposed to tell
Exactly.
us what's due, when it's due,
Right.
And so I just be worried about that.
Mhm.
He's super smart, academic scholarship,
Uh,
but I know there's
Little
another
stuff.
side to it.
That's how
of,
it
of
is.
the common,
Yes.
the
basic
basics.
stuff.
Yeah, the
The
basics.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
I
one of those.
totally understand with that. I see
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
going through that. I'd be like, man, okay, this is a whole nother.
Mhm.
Now I gotta keep teaching. I still gotta teach him, and
Right.
it's like a whole different raising.
Yeah, you'd be like, now look, man, see, with your credit going down, this
Yeah.
is why you can't be getting your car repoed. And I had to learn this growing up, so now I want them to know, like, don't get your car repoed.
Right.
You don't want that on your credit.
You don't
Trust.
want that exactly.
Took me forever to get my credit back to some decency.
Right.
But it'd be just that kind of stuff, like once they get older,
Yep.
that you worry about and think about financial responsibility, being mindful of bills and when they do. But at the same time, like we were saying the other day, keeping the kids close.
Yeah.
Like, because, black folks in America, we be like, when you leaving the house?
Yeah.
Get your own. Like,
Exactly.
it's a big get your own mentality.
Yeah.
But to really secure any kind of wealth and strong family bonds, families that stick together, they do a better job.
Do a better
Like
job.
they got the whole family under one roof, or they can expand, maybe get the house next door,
Yeah.
and they got the grandparents staying in.
Yeah.
Those parents from overseas,
Yep.
there'd
Yeah.
be a whole family in that house.
Yeah. I see it with
And they
my
be
neighbors. They
thriving.
was doing I see it like
Mhm.
we and like black folks got this mentality of we gotta kick our kids out at 18.
They fresh 18. You be like, man, get on the
Gotta
Why
go.
you kicking them out already? Now they out here struggling in the
Yeah.
struggle, like
Struggling for no reason.
right?
And I feel like with our blessings that we able to how we especially being an entrepreneur, we know a lot more than the average person.
Right.
Average working person. I feel like because we
Mhm.
actually gotta be extra responsible about. We not, you know what I mean. We're not clocking in. You know what
Right.
I'm saying. Nobody writing us, on clock checks. You know what I'm saying. But, I definitely feel like that.
They should just stay close. Like y'all can leave when you're ready, But just know that, I'm not kicking you out.
Yeah, we can teach them a lot more, but
Yeah.
we also got to keep them together. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with keeping them on until they fully get it. Ain't no
Yeah.
reason to make them struggle. Why should we make them struggle for,
Right.
the foundation? We have a foundation for them. Got to have a foundation, especially we like first generation money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of people got like generational wealth that they just come into.
Yeah.
And I can't stand them type of people that like, I had a few of them friends who I feel like, you come from money and you take it for granted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or you want to be the black sheep of the family just because you just want to
I'm
make
sick
it
of being
hard for
rich. I want to
yourself.
slum it up.
Exactly.
I'm living on this park bench by choice. And it's
Exactly.
just like,
By
really?
choice.
Nah, that type of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's a difference between making them struggle and making them understand.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Because you can still have them under your roof and just let them
Be
know.
their guardrails. Don't let them fall off the
Yeah.
planet,
Be like, I want y'all to at least cover the utilities.
At least.
If you're going to be staying here grown,
running.
Yeah.
cover this.
Yeah.
Just chip in here, you know what I'm saying? Do this. And then
Yeah.
those are the steps to be like, all right.
And that'll make them leave. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, all right. Or they may get it and be like, I'm ready to move out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I feel comfortable, I've
Right.
been paying this electric bill. It's time for me to do all the bills and my rent.
I've been handling
And
business.
you
Don't
got a
you be-
curfew.
Yep, the curfew.
Oh, that curfew
Got
killer.
a curfew.
Yeah.
Still got to be in here at 12.
Oh, when your kid, it's something about when your parents. I mean, when your kids live with you and they grown, but then they just be strolling in 3 in the morning. You be
Oh,
like,
no.
where was you at?
Exactly.
That's
That's-
Even though they grown, you
Yeah.
be still like, hey.
yeah, it's uncomfortable.
You be like, well, let us know what's going on.
Right.
And so I feel like that never leaves.
Nah.
Your kids is a whole 27. You still like, hey, where was
Coming
you
at
at? Because you look at them, no matter how old your kids get, you still see them as
Yeah.
your babies, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah.
Like, when I see my boys drive themselves somewhere, I'll be like, oh, you driving your little
Yeah,
car?
man.
And they grown, but I'm just, oh,
Yeah. It's a touchy fella. Like,
Yeah, it's like, man, I remember when you was, because you seen
Yeah.
them from scratch.
Yeah.
So it's like,
See the older brother driving the little brothers around.
yeah,
It's
you
like,
be like,
man,
oh,
that's crazy.
you all driving?
Yeah,
You
it's-
doing it yourself?
Pull out the phone instantly.
Yeah.
Start taking pictures and shit.
Yep. It's always that dynamic. I feel like that never fades off.
Right.
Anybody ask questions from
There's
the chat?
quite a few questions.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with these two questions. First, Moyo said, "Do you make the turkey legs in the crock pot?"
I have.
You have, but that's not the go-to.
No.
Y'all gonna have to pay her for this recipe.
She's
so
not
have
giving
a
up the
roast.
yeah,
recipe.
this
willingly.
ain't. This is
So I got a roasting pan. It's smothered.
it's
They asked if
smothered.
it was smoked.
Yeah.
Because he said smoked. It's smothered.
Okay.
Oh.
It's smothered, not
Oh,
smoked.
So it's
y'all.
lots of
Okay.
gravy and
We
Okay.
giving y'all a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
My
it.
bad.
She don't want to give the full recipe. She's
Yeah.
throwing everybody off.
Mhm.
No, actually, it's smothered.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
read it on there.
Yeah.
Smoked or smothered? It's smothered.
Hannah J asked, "Who is your favorite character on The Wire?"
Ooh.
On the Wire? Oh, man. I really wasn't a Wire fan.
Oh.
Yeah, I really
So this
didn't want
interview-
We cutting the episode off.
The
Cut the
interview's
cameras,
over.
man. Turn everything. I'm shutting it down. I never
Really?
heard these albums before.
I really wasn't all the way into The Wire. Like, I
Yeah.
watched it in the beginning, and I'm the type of person, like, if I miss, like, a few episodes,
Mhm.
or more than 3, maybe, more than 2, if I can't catch up,
Yeah.
I'm out.
You
of
fade
it.
out.
Done.
Yeah.
Or if I don't catch it from the beginning, like, I missed a lot of Power. It took me a lot. I had to go back and watch
Yeah.
the whole thing. You know
I
what I mean?
got on the power late,
Yeah, I was late,
Yeah.
man.
but you
And
got to
then-
go back to The Wire.
Yeah, I know.
You have
yeah.
to. If you got HBO Max,
Yeah.
please, I'll give you my login.
No, I just didn't have a favorite character like that because I felt
Okay.
like I lost touch. But I did
Yeah.
watch it here and there, you know.
Yeah.
And it was good. I know it was a good produced
I
show.
want you to tap in
Yeah.
and dedicate
Okay then.
and binge,
And then come back.
and then we're gonna
Come
revisit
back.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's the best TV drama ever made,
Right.
in my opinion.
I know Michael Williams was a part of it. Rest
Oh,
in peace to
rest in
Michael Williams,
peace.
man. That's crazy.
Oh,
I
man.
can't believe that happened.
Me neither. I
Man.
was like,
And
come
he
on,
was
man.
still taking off even more so now.
He was killing.
Yeah.
it.
He's a natural.
He was killing Roy. He was
Yeah.
just, and HBO loved him. Ever
Yeah.
since he did The Wire,
Yeah.
he was always doing HBO shows.
Right.
He had just did the one. What's the one that just came out? The black show, black horror. Why can't I
Oh
think
my
of the name?
God! Why
Lovecraft
can't
Country.
Lovecraft Country.
He was killing it on
Oh,
that.
that was so good.
And he was on Boardwalk Empire too.
Yeah.
So it's just, shout out to Michael K. Williams.
Yeah.
Dope actor.
Okay, so Dwayne T asks, who are Hi-Tek's favorite producers, peers, contemporary, and all time?
Oh,
I'll go through this a lot, man, and I answer the question probably differently every time.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like a lot of my inspirational in the world of producers that I respect was, Pete Rock, Premier, Dr. Dre, Jay Dilla, Kanye, Pharrell, Timbaland. Timbaland just remind me of a guy that just his drum game is just, you gotta respect it. He's just a beat head. You just be around them guys. If you grew up with a guy like that, he was all about the beats.
Yeah.
True. And it's a lot of my favorite producers. People that just innovative and creative nonstop.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Jay Dilla, man. That was my Midwest
man.
comrade, though.
Yeah.
Because we kind of seen and heard things the same way.
Yeah. And you knew him personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with him, but like I said, that musical language thing,
Mm-hmm.
I met him a few times. We were in the studio, like when we were working on Train of Thought. He was working on the Like Water for Chocolate album with Common.
Love that.
And we would see each other in the Electric Lady Studios in
Yeah.
New York in the hallways and talk. And I admired him so much from afar because I knew the same with Kanye too. Like me, him, Kanye have this Midwest thing to prove, and we are all inspired by all our, guys like Q-Tip is like one of my favorites, like of all times for real. Like
he
know
don't
what
get
I'm
the
saying?
props he
and
deserves
he don't get the
as
props
a producer.
exactly because I think he discredited himself a little bit, like coming up. He didn't really fully credit himself as I did the beat.
He didn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't know. I thought Ali Shaheed was doing the
Me
beats.
too.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he never put it out there
Yeah.
that he was the producer of the thing. Then he switched it to the Uma.
Yep, switched
So
it to the
it was
Uma.
hard to.
And he would slide in, like, even on the Low End Theory. I didn't know Pete Rock did a beat, and I didn't know it's just the way Q-Tip make what he, and he come where he comes from, and just that from that, with De La and Jungle Brothers,
Yeah.
and that sound, that native tongue sound, So he didn't. I think Q-Tip just embodied. We all Q-Tip's understudies.
Yeah.
Me, Kanye, and Dilla.
Yeah.
Guys like that. But Midwest, I feel like we had something to prove because we didn't really have a lot of, for one, you got to, New York, you trying to impress New York, but we also had this thing where we can get to the South, we can get to the Midwest, or we can get to the West Coast
Right.
sonically. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what made us stand out.
Yeah.
That's what gave us our mark, because being from the Midwest. So I think that was me and Dilla's connection.
Yeah.
Just something we knew that nobody else know.
Right.
Coming from where we coming from.
The middle.
Even though you can hear our influence from Pete Rock and Q-Tip, and but we sprinkled our Midwest on it,
Right.
which made us different.
Yeah.
It's a whole different hunger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we like, oh, okay, the
'Cause
funk, the funk was over here.
Yeah.
This is where it started.
Yeah. It started here, originated here, and then you got the backdrop. You know how Midwest cities are.
Yep.
Like, so many factories are leaving, the work was leaving. And
Right.
so a lot of times in the Midwest, our visuals were dilapidation and forgotten elements in a sense.
Right.
Like, New York, LA, everybody want to be out there.
They wanna
So
be
you always
there.
got an influx of people coming in.
Right.
Midwest cities, a lot of people leaving. So it's just like, man, look at
Never
this
come back.
abandoned block of like these beautiful homes and buildings that are just abandoned.
Right.
I feel like that's stuff you don't really see in like LA, you know, even when you in the hood in LA, you be like, it's the hood, but it look nice.
It look nice.
The
Yeah.
houses,
Look
yo.
nice.
I'd
Yep.
be like, oh,
Palm
y'all got
trees,
houses?
nice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But in the Midwest, when you like, you know, you thinking
Yeah.
of the music, and it makes you think. I'm not even a musician, and when I see that,
Mm-hmm.
I think of music. I'll be like, man, you can create. Like I'm always like, man, the music can fit right here. This
Oh
sound.
yeah, and it's something to grasp to. At
Yeah.
the time when we was coming up, it was something to hold on to. Like, you know,
Mhm.
it's like gave us inspirations. Like, oh, we can put the, like I was able to put the Natty on the map. It was like, that was part of my drive.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Along with getting that respect from you know, my teachers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Getting that respect. Like, so I feel like I was able to gain that respect with you know, with Dre and
Mhm.
you know, Q-Tip or Pete Rock and
Yeah.
you know, or New York, just in general, New York, and being able to get that respect
Right.
from a West Coast and East Coast. That's a Midwest thing, so
Yeah.
to say, you know, because it's natural. So when you see, like, you hear my sound go from like a, you know, people I work with, if I can work with a Snoop or, you know, people from the East Coast seamlessly.
Right.
It's not really, it ain't like, oh, that ain't Tech. You know,
Right.
it's still me,
Yeah.
you know, and I could credit that to being from the Midwest, you know.
The middle, man.
The
I'm
middle,
telling
being
you.
in the middle.
Yep.
I had to teach Quad and most of them about that back in the day. When I was
Mhm.
working on Black Star, it was a lot. I had to not necessarily teach them, I had to help them understand, like, yo, this is hot. Like, Master P is coming up. This
Yeah.
dude is body. Y'all gotta
Yeah.
hear this. Like, you know, they was like, oh, man, nobody gonna hear that
course.
shit, you know. But
Typical
it took 'em a while.
New Yorkers.
Yeah,
No, we're
it
so
took 'em a while to
stubborn.
understand it, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yep.
I was able to get a little bit of both. You know, coming up, I listened to everything.
Mhm.
I respect, like, you know, hip hop started on the East Coast, and you know, at the time, especially in the '90s, you know, East Coast was running hip hop. So,
Yeah, for sure.
like, so when I started chopping, making beats, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't only influenced by the East Coast, Pete Rock and Premier, and you know, at Q-Tip. It helped. That style of beat making was fun.
Mhm.
Digging in the crates was fun, and it helped me learn. It helped me learn a lot of stuff that was right in my background, right in my backyard.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That I didn't even know. Like, whether it be King Records, that was, you know, the record label that James Brown recorded with, and Funky Drummer was recorded in Cincinnati.
Oh,
Yeah, not too far
There it
from where
is.
I'm from. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's like the sound bed of hip hop, you
Mhm.
know, in the beginning. So, but like, the learning, going through that process taught me a lot about my background. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
learning through music and being able to, trying to get the East Coast to respect what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Man, you did. You achieved that
Thank you, bro.
because you crafted an album from two East Coast MCs that are very Brooklyn.
Right.
They
Straight
Brooklyn
Brooklyn.
all day.
Yeah, I went and stayed. I
Mhm.
lived in Brooklyn for a little minute.
And you came in there and crafted a album that's highly heralded as, like, you know, one of the jewels of hip hop. You came from Cincinnati and did the bulk of that production. Anytime, I'm telling you, anytime that album is mentioned, and I see it, like, people be putting up polls and be like, this album versus it. And Black Star, whenever Black Star goes up against something, people usually be like,
He hold
the
his
Black
weight.
Star album, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I'll see it lose is if it's up against, like, Low End Theory
Yeah,
or
the vets.
Midnight Marauders.
The fathers.
But man, it'd be like, anytime that album is mentioned, people be like, yo, that album right there is like,
Yeah.
and you did that. And then you got the attention while doing that, you got the attention of, like, a Dre, or, like, you know, you was doing beats for G Unit and
Yeah.
50 Cent, and it was just like, you came in, people was like, yo,
That's
and you came in, that point to prove, or, like, you know, the Midwest got something to say.
that's right.
It's like how Andre say, the South got something to say.
Yeah.
The Midwest, we needed that too.
That's what it was all about. Like, that's what was on my mind. The
Yeah.
Midwest got something to say. The
Mhm.
Natty got something to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was
Yeah.
a lot of my drive. And man, just like I said, I felt like I knew Dre through the music.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like our life story is the same in a sense. Like,
Mhm.
as a kid, we all grew up listening to records and
Right.
being a part of hip hop,
Mhm.
break dancing, and listening to music. Growing up, just being from the hood,
Right.
coming up out of making the right decisions to even get to this point. Because
Right.
the stuff we were surrounded by
All day.
could have ended that any day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hip hop saved a lot of people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
For real.
saying? Just the culture of it. So
Mm-hmm.
man, just being able to like capture those people's ear, like,
Yeah.
people I looked up to, was that alone. I didn't need no money.
Yeah.
I didn't need no money. Long as I get that call from Dr. Dre, like, hey man, I like your music.
Come
Like,
on, man.
that's
Come
it.
on. That's it. You
that's it.
you could have laid in the casket right in that
Yeah,
moment.
what?
He could have been like in that moment.
I never forget my guy, one of Quali's best friends at the time when I first started going to Brooklyn, brother Rich Mason. He was cool with P Rock,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "I'm gonna take you." This was back before the Reflection Eternal came out.
Okay.
and all that. But I was going. That's when I used to catch the Greyhound in New York and
Mm-hmm.
come back and forth, kick it with the Brooklyn cats. Just learning my New York ropes. But he
Right.
knew P Rock. He took me to Green Street Studio,
Uh-huh.
and Pete was working on the what's the name? I forget the Soul Survivor album.
Yes. Yep.
And I met Pete Rock in a dope session. It was like he played the Soul Brother #1. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already like, damn, that's Pete Rock. That's the guy right there. That's
Right.
Pete Rock, But Pete, he was cool. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He played some joints for me, but that helped me finish my album. You know
Really?
What I mean? yeah. That was one of them.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
This was after Black Star?
I believe it was after.
Okay.
Maybe, man. Oh, that's a good question. I think
Yeah.
it was after Black Star. though.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was after Black Star.
Yeah.
Because when you gotta think, like, when Black Star was first released, we had a lot of hurdles.
Mm.
Even with like some of the write ups, they didn't get it like all the way. But
Yeah.
we held our own. We were still underground. We were considered backpackers
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
We was kind of saving hip hop. That's what
Mhm.
everybody was saying. Like, so it didn't really the credit that it gets today.
It wasn't like
that
that.
wasn't
when it
really
first
like
came-
that when
yeah.
it first came out.
Yep.
So it was like we was allowed to grind, and thank God we was with a record label that allowed us to do what we wanted to do, and was just releasing. I had like 3 records on the top Rap City top 10 at the time.
Come on, man.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? It was like,
Come
what's
on.
that, 199,
Oh.
Respiration, and the Definition.
Whew.
You know what I mean?
I love 199,
And
man.
I got to credit that to, like, Ruckus and my team, with Black Star, Most and Quad.
Yeah.
It was just, man, that was a great time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
when it was genuine.
It was all organic. It was
Yeah.
genuine. It was organic. I remember when I got the Black Star album, that came out, what was that, 98?
Yep, 98.
So, people was getting, the Black Star album came out, I call it the Super Tuesday. Because it came
Yeah.
out with
Oh, yeah.
Hard
Yeah.
Knock Life,
What was it?
Oh, wow.
Aquemini,
Aquemini. Yeah.
The Love Movement
No.
by Tribe,
Just
Mm.
know it.
Black Star, and Brand Nubian, The Foundation.
I didn't
Those
realize
albums
that.
came out the same day.
Wow.
So it was like, and I could only afford one album at the time. I was in college. I was broke.
Right.
I went with Tribe, just
You
on
went
the,
with
on the
Tribe.
pedigree.
Right.
So I was like, Jay-Z, no,
Yeah.
I was tempted to get the Outkast, and I was like, man, because it was Outkast.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but Tribe, though, man, I've been waiting on
Gotta
this.
get the Tribe
I was
album.
in college, man, transitioning myself. I need this Tribe.
Yeah.
And then eventually I accumulated all of them, but I actually bought Black Star, and it was just like a lot of people on my campus didn't know, man, who these cats is? And it was like, yeah, it's Black Star, you know what I'm saying? This, and so, so people they weren't really latching on to it then. They was just like, this is good, but it was like you said, underground.
Right.
And then now, through the passage of time, is going to
Yeah.
reveal the real. And it was just like, yo, this Black Star album. And I was just like, yeah, man, that was a special Tuesday.
That was a special Tuesday. That
'Cause
was
it-
great.
man.
I think the Train of Thought had a crazy drop too. I
Mm-hmm.
forget what albums dropped that same day. I think a Outkast album dropped that day
Stank
too.
on you.
Stank on Your
Stank
album
on you.
dropped.
And you came out, I think, with
Eminem,
Jay-Z
I think.
too, right? The Dynasty album?
I don't know.
Or was it against
I think an Eminem album
Was
dropped
that
that day too.
not
I
the
think.
Marshall Mathers LP, or was it?
I
It
think
might
the
have been Marshall
Encore
Mathers.
album. Was it the Encore album? No.
Encore was a little bit later
Okay.
because he did the Marshall Mathers LP was his second one, and then after that he did the Eminem show. Was it the Eminem
It was the
show?
Eminem show. I
Eminem
think.
show.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Man,
Not Encore. Yeah, the Eminem show.
and
I
I
think.
bought that record. What's your favorite? This is a personal question for me. What's your favorite song? And don't give me they all my babies. Don't give me that. What's your favorite song on the Black Star album and the Train of Thought album?
Black Star that I produced?
Yeah,
Or just in general?
that you produce.
Oh, on the Black Star album, my favorite song.
And
that
you
I
can tell me
produced.
what's your favorite, even if it's not yours. You can tell me the favorite too. But I want to know the favorite track of yours and just your favorite track in general.
favorite track.
Hard hitting questions on this show.
Super hard hitting.
Yeah,
That is
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah, your face right now.
Yeah, he can.
Cause I had
was
that's
a
the first time I
blow.
really thought about the
Yeah.
favorite track on that particular album.
That particular album, man. Mm-hmm. Tough question.
Give him
It
time.
might be the redefinition,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but it only works if
You get the
the definition
Yeah.
is going into the redefinition. Then it turns into the redefinition.
right.
Cause like on that beat in particular, like redefinition, I was like battling.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing stuff that sent shots out to all the producers. That was
Oh, you was battling other
I was
producers.
battling. Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah, I was
low
battling.
key.
Low key battling, throwing shots.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like little shit that only producers know.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, fuck, they ducking. They was
Oh.
ducking.
See, this
They
is
was
something we would
ducking.
never
It was
know.
the hi-hats, throwing hi-hats and snares and kicks and shit. You hear me talk? Yeah,
Okay.
so that was like one of them beats that was like, I was like, yeah, I'm trying to kill him. Cause I
Yeah.
remember Aston Most, he was like, he had flew me out to LA.
Uh-huh.
That was the first time being in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And he already had gave me the idea for the definition. He's like, we gonna remix the BDP joint, boom.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I didn't feel like it was enough. I didn't feel like it was enough coming from what I need to let people know.
Yeah.
I gotta let them know some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I had to. I was like,
You had a
"Yo."
vendetta.
Yeah, I was like, yo, can I flip it and y'all continue the song? Boom, boom. He's like, hell yeah, go ahead. So that's when I went in.
Yeah.
So I started throwing some shots, throwing some karate chops. You know what I mean? So that beat, that redefinition is like, that was like my battle beat.
Redefinition, that's that one. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
Boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
It goes right
Yeah.
into right after the definition. So
Yeah.
that was personal.
That was,
That was personal right there.
your shirt was off when you was making that beat.
Yes,
He was
sir.
like, man, forget this.
It's
Person.
crazy because we almost lost both of them songs, man. We was at a friend of ours, her uncle had a studio, and it was like, man, primitive. You know what I mean? It was in a
Oh.
house in Sherman Oaks
Yeah.
somewhere. And ADAT tapes got zapped. I don't know what you know what ADAT tapes are.
Nah.
It's like a VCR tape,
Uh-huh.
but it was audio. You could record audio on it.
Okay.
So it was an ADAT machine.
Uh-huh.
I forget what that stands for, but audio, something shit, whatever. Anyway, we almost lost the records because it has like some digital like glitches on it.
Oh, okay.
So we had to re-record it after we did the original.
Uh-huh.
Came out better, I
Okay.
think. You know what I mean? But we didn't have no intentions on re-recording it.
Right.
Yeah,
Dang, that was a
Yeah.
close call.
close call.
That had changed the album. Dang.
That's the day I realized, like, when you came to Cali, I didn't know. That was the first time being in Cali.
Yeah.
I didn't know Bloods and Crips worked together. I thought it was just Crips and just Bloods.
Right.
I didn't know they collab and,
Yeah.
I didn't know Red and Blue makes green.
Yeah. Remember the Banging on Wax album?
Yeah, I didn't really know that then until I came out.
They was
Yeah.
clicked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them joints.
Yeah.
So that's your favorite, your track that you did on that album.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite period on that album?
Nah, one of my other favorite is the last record is the Twice in a Lifetime.
Twice in a Lifetime, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Yeah,
good.
it was another like battle beat in a sense, and
Mhm.
most was always a pleasure to get in the studio because it was like he energized me a lot. Like,
Okay.
that was one of them in the studio, Most was just ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And watching him record, like he was one of the guys seeking freestyle without writing nothing down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
And
so does he go in there with no?
sometimes, yeah, I believe
Okay.
so. Like at the time, like I see Most would go in and
Yeah.
he didn't write nothing down. Like I'm pretty sure he had stuff pre-written and ideas. Sometimes he'll get in the freestyle mode. And,
Yeah.
you know, that was the first time I had seen that for myself.
Okay.
You know,
I'm
But-
not surprised from him because he seems very fluid when it
Yeah.
comes to the way he performs and the stuff he does.
yeah.
Did you do any beats for Black on Both Sides?
Nah, no.
Okay.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the joints I had didn't make the sound that he was looking for.
Gotcha.
Most was one of them guys. He really, you know, grabbed his sound, what sound he wanted.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't think he didn't want to have that. You know, I think Black Star had his sound. and
He wanted something different for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because none of his albums sound the same.
Right.
Like all his albums sound completely different than the ones before. In my opinion, it's
Yeah,
like
shout out to 88 Keys, man. He's one of them
88
guys, man.
Keys.
That's, like he got the special formula too. Like he's super dope. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That song
He was real instrumental.
on that Black on Both Sides album, the 88 Keys produced with
Yeah.
Talib on it. That
Yeah.
I can't remember
forget
the name of the
it.
song, but it's fire though, man. The way the doom 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 doom. It's that whatever song that is amazing. I know 88 Keys did that beat. And what's your favorite song on Train of Thought?
My favorite song gotta be The Blast.
Oh,
Yeah, gotta be The Blast for a lot of reasons.
Mhm.
It's a lot of reasons. Like one being like it was the oldest beat on the album.
Okay. So
Like-
in essence, that was the first
Like,
track.
Yeah, like the oldest beat. I didn't expect to be able to use the beat, but
Yeah.
like, at the time, we was finished with the whole album,
Mm-hmm.
and I had already had the beat like maybe 2-3 years before. You know, I had it for a while. The idea, and it was the oldest beat. Put it that way. I did it on like the original MPC 60 drum machine.
Yeah.
It was just an old scrap track, but I liked the way I filtered the sample. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I gotta use it some kind of way.
Yeah.
But we needed another track. You know what I mean? And I had this sound in there. It sound and the body.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like it said Kweli. So
Okay.
our manager at the time, Corey, he was like, "Man, that shit sound like it says Kweli."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's it." Cause me and Corey would always talk all
Uh-huh.
the time and like, "Man, we gotta get Quad to like slow it down a little bit. He's rapping too fast."
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? On certain tracks, we need to just give him like a simplistic flow on certain.
Okay.
And so that was like me and him getting together, jumping Kweli, like, "Yo, you gotta do it this way." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was the beat.
Uh-huh.
And two, I got the rap on it.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is it.
Did you always was that always the plan to get you on the track? Or
Nah, not at all.
yeah.
Not at all.
When was you like, hey man?
in the studio.
I'm getting
out
in
here.
here.
We recorded it out here in LA. We came and we came up with the idea in LA. Went to the studio,
Yeah.
laid the track, got him to do our idea,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, yo, I got a verse I had wrote. Kind of quiet and quiet. He was writing and doing this. I was like, yo, I
Yeah.
got this little. He was like, let me hear it.
Mhm.
Like,
I
spit
remember
to
when
him. He
it
was like,
all
go ahead.
started.
Yeah.
Back in the day when me and Mom's
Mom's
first
first
parted.
parted.
Yeah.
You
I was
know?
like, oh, he on the track.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Like Flojo, bet you ain't even know I had Flo though.
Yep.
So they
Man.
was like, okay, you know, go ahead, drop
Yeah.
it. You know,
Go
what I
on
mean?
in there.
Go on in there. You
Oh,
know,
I love
so
that song.
that was a good time, man. Beautiful
Yeah.
time, and that's one of my favorite tracks, man. Like, just because it has so many memories of feeling, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then 3, I was able to put my city on the map with that track.
Was.
Like, even though Black Star, you know, it was like Hi-Tek, yes, you're ruling hip hop.
Yeah.
They knew I was producing it. I was in the video, but it still looked like I was from New York.
Yep. Yep.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
assume everybody in the van was from New York. So I was
Exactly.
just like, there's New Yorkers.
So with the Blast, that was my chance. In that album in particular, that was my chance to put the Natty on the map.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
if you listen to that whole album, it was a lot of purposeful things done
Yeah.
on my behalf that I had to fight Kweli for.
Okay.
that we fought about.
Yeah.
Like my homie Big D being on the interlude.
Yeah.
It's Big D from the Big Dale from the Natty.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure I had that. Cause he didn't get it. Qual was like, I don't understand where you coming. Why is this just coming out after I done did all this magnificent lyricism? What makes you want to put fucking ABC rapping Big D on here?
Yeah.
And it was just it was a stamp for me. You know, for one, I had to have somebody speak from the Natty. Like I had to speak in just a everyday voice.
Right.
You know, it was an everyday, this is where I grew up. This is how I get down.
Yeah.
I'm not from New York. I respect New York, but I'm not.
Right.
I'm from Cincinnati.
I'm from Cincinnati, yeah.
You got to hear this, my homie, my best friend.
Yeah.
This Big D. Here you go.
Right.
And I made it an interlude. And it made sense to our sound because I wanted people to understand where that sound comes from. Not just, you know, overly produced,
Right.
you know, technical. It was like, let's give them some, you know, make them feel a part of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know Qualls is such a lyrical MC. A lot of people from Cincinnati didn't really tap into quality like that.
Right.
They more tapped into my beats.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They tapped into the sound. And just the fact that I'm from Cincinnati making dope music.
Hometown
Yeah,
hero,
so they
man.
just was riding with me. Even
Right.
if they didn't know my music, they was just riding with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he
So-
from out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn it up.
Swear up and down they know my music. But they didn't know. A lot of them
I
didn't
grew
know.
up with him.
Yeah.
We was on the same
And a lot
city block.
of cats, they just was riding with me because they know they knew that's all I did. You know, they
Yeah.
know I make music, make beats, and they couldn't tell you a quality lyric. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So my thing was that was what it was all about. Like, let me give them something that just
Right.
let's break it to them a little bit. You know, just give them a little insight of the Natty. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Is PyCon from
And
Cincinnati?
PyCon as well. Yeah.
His verse was fire
Yeah,
on that
he was a
album.
special dude, man. Special, real talented brother. Like,
Man.
like voice crazy,
Yeah.
flows like he was
His
killing.
verse was fire. I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
I
right.
remember making that face. I was like, my face was ugly
Special,
listening
man.
to that track.
Dope.
And I like that y'all came back together to do Revolutions Per Minute.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they back. You know, I was like, yes.
Yes, sir.
And that song you did the song you did on that album was Talib, J. Cole, Jay Electronica, and Mos. That shit right there,
Man.
fire.
Yeah, we got Cole early on that too.
Got fresh Cole,
Fresh Cole.
and he delivered. I was like, man, this
Yeah.
Jay Electronica. Nobody phoned it in on that track. It was just like everybody was spitting. The beat was fire. I was just like,
And
Yes.
to be honest with you, that was one of them moments. Like, again, that I had that old feeling. It's like, man, this is feel like the Black Star days.
Yeah.
This feels like Train of Thought days. Like, just the way the magic comes together.
Yeah.
And then when you got that caliber of MC, now imagine, I can't rap like that,
yeah,
but I could produce the hell out of a rapper like that.
right,
But those rappers are so far in between, you know. You
Yeah.
can't. Everybody ain't special like those guys. Those four guys is like,
right. I was just like, man, on one track,
yeah. It's
I'm
like,
just like,
and Cole
this.
early like that. I mean, you hear Cole like I'm listening, producing, you know, mixing the record. I'm hearing like pockets. I'm like, God, this guy
Yeah,
and his breath control, like his
Right.
energy, like Cole's crazy.
Still.
And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Jay Electronica's. He gave me that Biggie feeling, like, yo,
Yeah.
I got to work with Big.
right.
That's how I felt.
Man,
Because the way
you
he
gotta
painted,
focus.
the way he painted that picture on the
Yeah.
track, it's just like you was there.
Yeah,
So when you hear Biggie, that's the feeling he give you. You know what I
Yep.
mean? He just make you feel like you right there in the studio with him. You know what I mean? So it's only certain dudes that make you feel that way. you know?
Right.
Some people rap, they can rap, but
but
they
you
ain't
don't
really,
be like,
they ain't pulling you in like
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
J. Cole definitely pulls me in.
Yeah.
Like I be telling her all the time. I be like, man,
Yeah.
I just reflect on J. Cole. I just be like, man, this dude can rap.
That's it, right?
Because he be rapping with like feeling and like, you know, there's emotion attached to it. Him and Kendrick do that for me.
Yeah.
Like there's an emotion there that's beyond just saying stuff that looks cool and swaggy.
Right.
It's cool that you did a little something, but I feel the passion in the bars like that we would get with Biggie, Pac, you know, those passionate bars, if you will, and you just be like, yeah, man, they mean this. They mean it. It's urgent. You feel it. You be like, this right here. Yeah, man. Anyway.
We actually have 4 more questions that
Okay.
I really want to get to.
Let's get them. Let's get them. I'm going to hush
but
up.
This one, I feel like you answered throughout this, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Moyo said or asked, producers play the background and are hardly seen. Was there ever a time you wanted to be front and center and the focal point, and how do you stay balanced and supportive?
Oh, dope question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It was a time like, in between. It wasn't my total intentions because I really wasn't that confident in rapping. I wasn't really that confident to feel like I could produce a whole album of myself, you know. But like after the Train of Thought album process was done, album was out, Blast was hot, you know, and I was producing at a consistent rate, you know, and finding my voice, trying to find my voice, you know what I mean? So it was a time I was like, I never felt like I wanted to be the front runner, but I felt like I could do a full album or a chronic type of album where, you know what I mean? That's with high technology. That's the formula. That's the Soul Survivor. That's the chronic.
Yeah.
You know, that's the, you know, the stunts, blunts, and hip hop.
Yep.
Diamond D.
Diamond D.
Yeah,
yep.
it's the producer rapper formula. You know what I'm saying? And I just never went all the way in with it. You know. Yeah.
Okay, so Nana P asks, what is the beat that you heard that you said, dang, I wish I produced that, or were in like great admiration of? Like, what's one thing
There's
that
so
blew
many,
your mind?
man. So many.
Yeah,
so
I can
many.
imagine.
Like the Reminisce Over You, P.
Oh,
Rock.
I knew that
God.
was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
That's like just timeless.
I think every producer wants that beat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Cause and once you mentioned that you love Pete Rock, I was like, he gonna say they reminisce over you.
My thing about P. Rock, and I think the reason why I mentioned his name a lot is because when I met him, it's just like we was brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just such a down to earth dude. He is who he embodies music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is that dude you hearing through his music. Like he's such a passionate person about music. One of the only people that speak up on what's going on with music today. A lot of OGs, they still trying to get their money and, you know, they scared to really speak up on, not to bash any of the young things that's going on, but he want them to do that. He remind them constantly, like, what the funk is.
Yeah.
What the funk is about. You know, we got to do it. Somebody got to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not to bash anybody or, you know, but, you know, somebody got to speak up on it. But he one of them dudes, man, that's, you know, I admire a lot because he genuine like that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yep. They reminisce over you, man. Woo.
So damn, Oz asked, what artist did you always want to work with and never got a chance?
Jay-Z, Ice Cube, Andre 3000.
Oh.
Yeah. Lauryn Hill.
We have a physical reaction to everybody you say. Oh, wow.
Lauren, of course, you know.
Yes.
Man, George Clinton.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, George Clinton, man. I would love
Yeah.
get him in the lab one time. Yeah.
That's a good lineup right there. Tanya R asked, have you ever felt passed over or felt slighted?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not gonna drop no names though, but we.
Nah, I have though.
Yeah.
Just like we all probably have in a sense, but
Right.
they say it only matters when you give a fuck.
Yeah.
But if you don't give a fuck, you just keep it moving.
That's
You know what I
facts.
mean?
Yeah. And somebody just wanted to clear up Celerita said, does clearing an artist, is that the label giving permission?
Yes.
Ah,
So artists could record a verse and say, hey, man, I'll charge 10,000, whatever.
yeah.
Take the money.
Mm.
You have the verse, but when it comes time for you to make an official release,
Mm.
the label can come back and say, nah, you can't release it, especially as a single.
Dang.
So you got two hurdles. Just
That's
releasing
crazy.
it alone and putting it on a master and you selling it as your own product
Mm-hmm.
under your own record label or another label that you're signed to,
Mm-hmm.
or just putting it out in general.
Yeah.
You know what
Wow.
I mean? But putting it out as a single is like a whole nother hurdle.
Dang.
Because it's like you exploiting that artist more for your own benefit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the record labels look at it. But if that artist has weight, they can override the label sometimes.
Ah.
Okay.
But some
Yeah.
artists don't. All artists don't have that type of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that.
Yeah.
And they was like, man, they won't clear the verse.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's mostly a lot of times it's the label that won't clear it. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Busting up the party for us
Right.
all.
Oh, what? You spent your money.
Man. That's
Got a hot joint.
so
That's
then
why
you just
I
gotta
look at-
leak it.
Yeah, I look at those records and
Right.
like the technology tools. Like, man, I had 9 Interscope artists on the record,
That's crazy, man.
and I was able to throw up a number. I paid a little money to clear them, but it wasn't. It was
Crazy.
under 50,000 G. I mean, for 9 Interscope, I keep it real. Like
man,
it wasn't more than 50, and that's great.
Yeah.
Dang.
And for people to just like, go ahead, Tech, you got my blessing,
Mm.
along with the label. That's
Yeah.
unheard of.
That's
Yeah.
love too.
That's unheard
Crazy.
of for a producer of my level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Josephine.
So we always
I ain't
ask
have to
this
clear
question.
Pops, though.
Dude, Pop, what if Pops was like, hey man, talk to my label.
Oh,
That's funny.
Dad shut you down?
Talk to my label, son.
That's funny.
So we usually close out with this question.
Yes.
Is top 3 or 5, if you can't do 3, music artists, like that's your favorite of all time. Personal favorite, not to work with, nothing, just personal.
Personal favorite.
Yeah, hard hitting questions here. The
Golly, 'cause
hard
I
hitting
go-
questions on this show.
Golly, God.
We dig deep.
Yeah.
Personal favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Man. I gotta say Nas.
It's my favorite MC.
George Clinton.
Okay. Funkadelic.
Wow, man. I mean, it's just so many. I mean,
Right.
what else can I say? Ice Cube.
Okay.
Just one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I was
Definitely.
thinking about Cube today because I was listening to Public Enemy on the way over here, and I know he's a big fan of the production they were doing. That's why he went to the Bomb Squad for his America's Most Wanted album.
Right.
Say out loud. So he was listening to "It Takes a Nation $1 million to hold us back."
Right.
And Cube was like,
he's such
"Yo,
a Karis One and Chuck D fan. You know.
man." So I was
Yeah.
like, I like the fact that when you look at a legend like Cube that
Right.
spawned so many other rappers,
Yeah, and
but
people.
he was looking at like
Yeah.
what they doing. I like that.
Exactly.
And
That
once he-
was such a great choice at the time that nobody really expected.
Nobody expected
But then
that.
when you think about it, the way Dre put his loops together and
Yeah.
the production together was similar to what Bomb Squad was doing.
yeah.
And they was the only one that could really make it hard hitting. At that time, they was the only one could do it.
yeah.
It's like with Q coming from that, like being
Right.
produced by Dr. Dre, like
Mm-hmm.
Bomb Squad's the only one could do it.
Man,
That was it.
Public Enemy got some
Yeah.
fire, dog. I was
God.
just going through the
This-
albums. I was like, God.
Even that production process, like, like I was thinking, how did they do that? It was
Yeah.
shout out to Sir Jinx, who really, embodied that too.
Yeah.
Sir Jinx is like one of those. I mean, he's one of those dudes that was part of that sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That helped catapult that whole Ice Cube that we hear.
Man, I
You
got
know
the
what I'm
utmost respect for Ice Cube just
Yeah.
because he knew his worth early on, and he
Yeah.
was just like,
So much to learn from Cube.
man. And then the fact that he was willing to go out on his own
Yeah.
and against the crew, and just like
Right.
and still thrive and pop. That's
It seemed so
amazing.
risky at the time. Right?
Man, like
They got it.
looking back, we like hindsight, but to
Yeah.
him, I'm sure he was like, man, I hope I can pull this off.
Right.
That's gotta be terrifying.
Yeah.
I just gotta ask these two before we go and then we
You
get
got
out of
it.
here. Where's
Yeah.
Vinny and Mohica?
Man, good question.
Where's she at?
Good question.
I wish she would have made an album because she was killing features and she was killing it on your projects. And the song she had with Most was just. And how'd you and your wife meet? That's the final.
Met my wife. Cincinnati's so small.
Yeah.
I could have swore I seen her walking through the mall one time when she was a youngin. And I think we seen each other at the club. I seen her and try to snatch her up.
Yeah.
She wasn't messing with me,
You rolled up.
Yeah,
It's
rolled
you
up.
remember what you said when you rolled up?
I just grabbed her arm when she was walking
Oh,
past.
you did the club? You did the
I
arm
did the club,
grab.
like,
Yeah,
Wow.
the
She
little
was like,
tug.
get off.
She's like, man, get on.
She wasn't messing with me, but I wanted one time on one of my this club called the Ritz, and we was there late night. We both knew the owner, so we was always kicking after hours and shit. Like, but she was there. I said, I got you,
Yeah.
Oh.
got you finally. Come here, come here. So from there, since then we've been together.
Yeah.
My homie been through a lot. Long
Yeah.
story.
That's,
long-
that's a whole other
long-
podcast.
Whole another podcast for that. But yeah, like when you get to that marriage level, it's like, man, it has to mean something spiritually. Like,
Right.
on a friendship level. You know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
like it just felt right to, because you would never think you would get married. You know what I'm saying? But when you trying to grab marriage, I think marriage helps you grab a hold of where you at in life, because even in the vows, they tell you your spouse comes first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it eliminates a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I
Because
mean?
you have a center
You have a center.
of gravity.
So everybody
which is
get an answer to that.
Yeah.
It ain't like they can go around it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Ain't no, hey, I'm your mama. I'm your sister.
Yeah.
I'm your longtime friend. It's like, hey, she part of this.
Yeah.
Even the kids, they say she come for the kids. It's like, we have to be the center of that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So you have somebody to grab a hold and help keep you centered.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what people say, they have counseling for marriage, because it's important to try to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
If it don't work, it just don't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you try to make it work, if you got somebody to center with, I say go for it, especially when you get old and rusty.
Yeah. Start falling to pieces.
You're gonna need somebody to take care of you, man.
Can you put some oil on my knees?
All these old players out here.
Yeah.
Yep.
They ain't got no center. It's
They ain't
just
got no
they're
center.
all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
And you absorb a lot of unnecessary energies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When you're not moving right. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
might say, I want to hear it all.
you hear that? She eating that shit up right.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you, man.
Man, thank you for having me.
Oh, man.
Such a great conversation, you know.
Thank you.
And it was only natural for me to come up here, man. And
Thank you, man.
I love your style of comedy and,
Thanks, man.
and everything you do, man. Like how you represent it. You got, you got a good thing going, man. Like
Thanks,
I already knew. And actually, when you had hit me up, he was like, "Man, I'm a fan." I was like, "Man, that's me too."
Yeah.
It was just out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I like that, because, a lot of people don't have to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're already doing your thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to come check you out. You know
Oh,
what I'm
man.
saying?
I
Yeah.
appreciate it, man. When
Yeah.
you say you was coming to the show, I was like, word? Yeah, man. And I'm glad this worked out timetable wise with the travel and stuff. So,
Oh,
because
yeah,
I
yeah,
hate,
exactly.
I,
Yeah.
Sabrina tell you, I hate asking people
Mhm.
to come to the show. To come to the show, I'll be like, because I don't want to
Yeah.
bother people. I'll be
I
like,
get it.
Can you?
I'm the same way, man.
Yeah. So
Sometimes when you do ask like certain people, you be like, they come through, you be like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
yeah.
No, they got love for me more than I thought.
You-
You know what I'm
yep.
saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'll be
I'm
like,
the same way with that.
Man.
Asking for verses and shit. Hey man, can you do a verse for me? Like,
Yeah. Like you
maybe-
want them, you would
maybe
love to
hit
have
you back
them.
and
Yeah.
shit.
You do it? Oh man, thank you, man. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you ever make another album, you need a funny skit.
I got you.
You need me just on there talking.
Yeah, man.
Do not hesitate. I would be honored.
Nah, man,
Say no
spit
more.
something.
Or I don't want to bring the property value down the album by spitting, but
You never know how it's gonna happen, Tone. You
man,
know? Yeah.
I remember when it all started.
Right.
Tony, you know, all we need is one more.
Oh,
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
we need
Mind
another
blowing.
Tone in here.
Mind
Tone
blowing.
Bell. We get Tone Bell. Yo, but yes, man. But if you need something like that, do not hesitate.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm
I
definitely.
will, yeah,
Yeah.
I will do it.
Yeah, I was actually already thinking about it.
Was you?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would be honored.
I was like, what can I think of for a week? And, you know,
Oh,
so
don't play with
say
me.
no more. You
Don't
already
play
know.
with me.
I got you.
Thank you, bro.
No problem, man.
Shout out to the patron saints, man. Appreciate y'all with the questions. I'm glad y'all tuned in and are here listening and vibing and talking and chatting. Shout out to Hi-Tek for coming through and gracing us. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the turkey legs and the queen. You know what I'm saying?
Turkey legs.
The turkey legs.
No
Shout out,
chili?
He would have fell out. No, it ain't your favorite.
shout out to Sabrina holding us down on the production tip. And we got Amir on the ones and twos. Cam, they keep changing in and out. Him and Cam.
Yeah, I didn't even
behind
see
it.
it.
Yeah, I didn't even see the switch
Yeah.
every time. But thank y'all for tuning in to another session of that verbal cardio. There it is.